How's it going, everyone? In today's lesson, we're going to show you how our investment in SWKS Skyworks Solutions went. And this shows that many times the timing of the market is completely unpredictable. We want to feel at ease for the market to move at our pace, but often that's not the case. That's why it's important to stay alert and keep up with the market's movements. And if you can't have someone, a support team, monitoring things to give you this kind of guidance, check this out, everyone. There's an important detail. This is educational content. This opportunity already happened a few months ago. I record with this intentional delay so as not to influence the market or anything like that, because this is 100% educational. It's to show you the price behavior the stock had afterwards. From our entry point, okay? So look, Skyworks, everyone, this is a stock that once reached $170, then dropped to $50, falling 70%. During all that time, there was never an opportunity signaling that it was good to buy. Just because it dropped 70% doesn't mean it was cheap. This is a big mistake that many people make. Oh, it's cheap, I'll buy it, and so on, but that's not the case. Basically a drop, then sideways movement, then more of a drop. Here, folks, during this period on September 15th, something happened. There was a movement where more than 20 million shares were traded. And we monitored the interest of these investors from all over the world buying the company's shares. We thought, hey, there's a hidden opportunity here for us to figure out. We studied the case, analyzed the risk, and passed it on to our clients. Look, it's worth it for us to invest in this stock, okay? So what happened, folks? In the first week, the stock went up more than 5% right here. Okay? So 5% in a week is already a great profit. But just as quickly as it went up, it dropped again. There wasn't enough time for me to manage the risk properly. Okay? So my trailing stop, the stop protected the trade. So I went through another 2-4 weeks in a correction, okay? So entry point 4 weeks correcting. And then this week, in the 5th week, it made this very significant and strong upward move, going up by a substantial 15% over a period of 2, then 4, and finally 6 consecutive weeks, and a notable 15% increase. Guys, a market rise of this magnitude and nature is certainly not simple or straightforward at all. Okay, so basically 15% in 2, 4, 6 weeks. We obviously need to protect that. That 15% was an increase of $11.86. So during the week, as it kept going up, I used a profit protection tool called a trailing stop. And then as it kept rising, I kept moving this tool along. And it went from 8 to 11.86, right? That was its peak. I set my protection at $8. In other words, if it started to fall again, I would have a profit of $8. And that's exactly what happened during the week. After going up, it made a downward move and hit my profit protection. I pocketed a profit of $8. All right. And what does that represent in terms of the part I bought? We have 300 shares, each priced at $78.95, which, when calculated precisely, comes to a total of $23,685 that have been invested, all right? Those 300 shares gave me a profit of $8 each. That results in a profit of $2,400, investing $23,000. In other words, more than 10% profit. On top of the invested amount in 2, 4, 6 weeks. Guys, that's a lot of profit. 10% profit in 6 weeks is basically 3 years of fixed income achieved in a focused way over just 6 weeks. So the big lesson, this is a very key point, where many people make mistakes and end up making the stock market seem more dangerous than it actually is. When it's going up $11, $12, and you get excited and think it's going to the moon, you don't protect part of that gain, and it can come back down like it did here, and your profit turns into a loss. And then you're left with that feeling of, damn, I missed the timing because of my greed to make more. I didn't do my homework of protecting part of that gain, and I let it turn against my trade. And my profit turned into a loss. That's terrible, folks. And this happens often to those who are still in the learning phase. That's why I like to record, talk about, and show this in the best way possible so that everyone understands how this works in practice. And 10% in 6 weeks is a gift from the market, isn't it? We need to take advantage of this because these gains are what will make our capital grow year after year. That's it, guys. If you like this kind of lesson, we have classes starting every day here on our channel. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and may God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.